Hello dear students, welcome to most expected MCQ series concept through questions. So this is now today we are discussing for day 3. So how you're feeling about that previous 20 questions whatever I discussed, give me your comments also on that questions and their answers and all. So now we are moving to the next. So here this is the question. In a p-type silicon sample, the hole's concentration is 2.25 into 10 raised to 15 per centimeter cube full stop. If the intrinsic carrier concentration is 1.5 into 10 raised to 10 per centimeter cube, the electron concentration is option A 0, option B 10 to the power 10 per centimeter cube, option C 10 to the power 5 per centimeter cube, option D 1.5 into 10 to the power 25 per centimeter cube. So here in this question we need to find out that in a p-type silicon sample hole concentration is already given. We need to find out that the electron concentration. So as I had explained earlier, for a p-type of the semiconductor, electron is the minority charge carrier. So by the use of mass action law, we can find out the concentration of the minority charge carrier as electron. So as we know that this is given here, P into N is equal to Ni square. So for p type of semiconductor, electron is the minority charge carrier and their concentration we can obtain it here. N is equal to Ni square divided by P. So here this Ni value is mentioned as 1.5 into 10 to the power 10. So if we'll do it here, 1.5 into 10 to the power 10 and their whole square divided by this P value is given here as their whole concentration is given 2.25 into 10 to the power 50. So here this numerator part we will get it here. This numerator part you will get it here 2.25 into 10 to the power 20 divided by this is 2.25 into 10 to the power 15. So here if we do this, what will happen? Then this is giving here that this 2.5 will be cancelling to each other. So here you will get it 10 raised to 5 per centimeter cube. So this 10 to the power 15 will go to the numerator so that it will become 10 to the power minus 15. So 20 minus 15 it will become 10 to the power 5 per centimeter cube. So that option C is the right answer for this question. Now we'll see next. So next is the concentration of minority carriers in an extrinsic semiconductor under equilibrium is, and these are given their options. So here what will be their answer? So as we know that the concentration of majority charge carrier, so here as I had explained earlier mass action law, so this is saying concentration of majority charge carrier into concentration of minority charge carrier is equal to Ni square, intrinsic carrier concentration square. So if you see that here directly proportional to the doping concentration, it is not correct. Then inversely proportional to the doping concentration. So let's say for example for N type of semiconductor, what we can write it here, that electron is called their majority charge carrier. So how we can write? N into P. This is N into P is equal to Ni square. Or here in N type of semiconductor, what is the minority charge carrier? Hole is the minority charge carrier. So this can be given P is equal to Ni square divided by this small n, or we can say it here Ni square divided by Nd. This also I had explained earlier. So if you see that the concentration of minority carriers as a whole is inversely proportional to the doping concentration. So option B is the right answer for this question. If you see it here directly proportional to the intrinsic, that will become wrong because it is a square of intrinsic. So due to that reason, this option C is not correct. Many times students are doing the mistake by marking Option C. Option C is not the right answer for this question. Now inversely proportional to the intrinsic, so that is also not correct. So by this way, option B is the right answer for this question. Now we'll see next. Drift current in the semiconductor depends upon. So drift current formula already I had given in the earlier videos also. Only the electric field and the carrier concentration, both the electric field and the carrier concentration. Option D is both the electric field and the carrier concentration gradient. So gradient and this carrier concentration both is the different thing, and there already I had explained. So let's say for the electron, this G in drift, what I had explained, it is NQ mu n into E. So this is called their carrier concentration, but dN by dx is called carrier concentration gradient. So here there is no term as a dN by dx, so due to that reason this option is not correct. Now here it is depending upon that carrier concentration as well as electric field. So what will be the right answer? Option C, both the electric field and the carrier concentration of the charge carrier. So that is the right answer for this question. By this way, option C is the right answer for this question. Now we'll see next. So next is, at T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin, the whole mobility of the semiconductor mu P is equal to 500 centimeter square per volt per second, and Kt by Q is equal to 26 millivolt. The whole diffusion constant dP in centimeter square per second is. So in the previous video already I had explained about that their Einstein relationship. So as per the Einstein relationship, what we can write it here, as per Einstein's relationship, what it is giving that dP by mu P is equal to Kt by Q, that is called as a Vt also, that is called thermal equivalent voltage also. So here Kt by Q value is given as a 26 millivolt, mu P is given. So we need to find out their dP. So here their dP will be what? You can also calculate parallelly and give me the answer. So this dP is nothing but Kt by Q or simply Vt into mu P. So this Kt by Q is given here as a 26 millivolt. So we can write it here as a 26 millivolt means 10 raised to minus 3, and here this mu P is simply mentioned here 500. Now what about their unit? So this is having the unit of centimeter square per volt per second, and their unit is volt here. So this volt gets cancelled, this volt and volt gets cancelled. So here this can be written simply 26 by 1000 into 500 centimeter square per second. So this will become here as a 2 and this will become here as a 13. So you'll get the answer 13 centimeter square per second. So that option A is the right answer for this question. You must have to note down this Einstein relationship formula. So dP by mu P is equal to Kt by Q is equal to Vt, or even we can say it here as a dN by mu n is equal to Kt by Q is equal to Vt, or combining these two, even we can write it here as a dP by mu P is equal to dN by mu n is equal to Vt. This is most important formula for this Einstein relationship for this part. So I hope you got this answer. Option A is the right answer for this question. Next is, the donor energy level in an n-type semiconductor lies. Already I had explained multiple times in the previous video. You can go through that. So this is given close to conduction band, close to valence band, exactly at valence band, outside the forbidden gap. So for this one, the answer will be that for the n-type of the semiconductor, there will be doping and donor energy level will be lying very nearer to the conduction band. That already I had shown by drawing their figure also. So here option A is the right answer for this question. Next, the accepted energy level in a p-type semiconductor lies close to option A conduction band, option B valence band, option C mid-gap band, mid-gap only, option D vacuum level. So earlier also I had explained for the n-type of the semiconductor, their donor energy level is very near to the conduction band. Their Fermi energy level is also very nearer to the conduction band. And for the p type of the semiconductor, acceptor energy level is nearer to the valence band, and their associated Fermi energy level for the p type semiconductor is also nearer to the valence band. So here for this question, that right answer will be option B, valence band, because they are asked for that p type of the semiconductor. So option B is the right answer for this question. This is the right answer for this question. Now we will see for the next. In a heavily doped N-type semiconductor, the Fermi level moves towards the valence band, toward the conduction band, always remains at mid gap, option D, outside the semiconductor. So here, whenever we are talking about that very heavily doped semiconductor, then for the N type of the semiconductor, their associated Fermi energy level is moving very closer to the conduction band. Even for very high, it may goes inside the conduction band also. So for this question, that right answer will be option B. If we talk about that p type of the semiconductor, then for the heavily doped p type of the semiconductor, their associated Fermi energy level will be moving towards their valence band. Sometimes for very heavy, it may goes inside of the valence band also. So this is for this question, option B is the right answer. And whatever I am giving that extra line, so that is also the answer for many other questions. So that also you must have to note down in your notebook and revise frequently, so that during the exam, whatever questions they will ask based on these things, you can answer very easily. So next, compensation doping means option A, doping with only donors, option B, doping with only acceptors, and here option C, introducing both donor and acceptor impurities, option D, removing all impurities. So here compensation means, like earlier we had seen intrinsic semiconductor, so that will be either germanium or silicon or some pure semiconductor. But whenever we are adding pentavalent, it transforms to N type of the semiconductor. Or if we add trivalent impurities, then that intrinsic will transform into P type of the semiconductor. When we add both the type of impurities all together, then that time it is called here as a compensated semiconductor. So let's say this is our host material of germanium, silicon, whatever it is. So this might be the host material as a germanium or silicon. So whenever we are adding this as a donor impurities from this corner and from this corner as acceptor impurities, so now both the type of impurities is added in this crystal of germanium or silicon as a host material, then that type of semiconductor is called as a compensated semiconductor. Compensated semiconductor. So their electrical behavior will behave as per the values provided here, as per the value of Nd and Na. So if Nd is greater than Na, it will behave here as a compensated N type of the semiconductor. If Na is greater than Nd, it will perform as a compensated P type of the semiconductor. If both is same, then it is behaves as a electrically intrinsic type of the semiconductor. So based on their doping level, it will perform here their electrical conductivity. But as per the question, doping compensation means doping of both the type of impurities, donor and acceptor. So due to that reason, option C is the very right answer for this question. And by this way, we had completed this one. Now we are moving to the next. So the drift velocity of carriers is proportional to option A 1 by E, option B simply E, option C E square, option D independent of electric field. So here this E denotes about that electric field, and here drift velocity is given Vd is directly proportional to electric field, and this is valid for a smaller electric field, valid for a smaller electric field, for a smaller electric field. This is not valid for the entire electric field range. No, it is valid only for a smaller electric field. and their graph will be somehow in this way. So let's say this is the point of 10 raised to 3 or 10 raised to 4. This is the electric field graph per volt per centimeter, and this is LVD. So this point will be 10 raised to 7, and this is they are having the unit of centimeter per second. So here what we can say, the drift velocity of carriers is proportional to electric field. That is only valid for this region. So in this region, this mobility is constant here. Now if you see it here, this drift velocity is not even changing if we are going to this region. So here what they had asked as per this question, the drift velocity of carriers is proportional to what? Option B as a electric field. So for this question, the most appropriate answer is option B, and even more precisely it should be mentioned that electric field range also. So this is valid for the smaller electric field range. So here this formula will become what? This drift velocity formula is equal to Vd is equal to mu into E. That is called mobility of the charge carrier and electric field applied here. So that is equal to Vd. So now we'll see next. The relation between mobility and the diffusion coefficient is given by. So these things already I had discussed earlier also. This is related to Einstein relationship, and then already I had discussed about that. Einstein relationship is giving the relation between diffusion coefficient as a dn or dp, or simply d by mu is equal to kt by q, or simply this kt by q is called as a Vt. This is called the Einstein relationship, and it is given here d by mu is equal to kt by q. It is matching with option B. So this Einstein relationship is giving the relation between diffusion coefficient or diffusion constant d along with the mobility of the charge carrier. So that is given d by mu is equal to kt by q, or that is called as a Vt. So by this way, this is matching with option B. Option B is the right answer for this question. And by this way, that 3 days is completed. Now this is your scorecard. You must have to mention about your marks at our channel, so that I'll be knowing that how much you're getting and what are the areas of improvement, so even you can interact with me. Thank you for watching this video. Again, we will meet with the next set of questions for day 4. Thank you.